There is a leaf growing right now in the cracks of sidewalks, along highways, in abandoned fields, and across perfectly manicured lawns. Most people step on it, some spray it with poison, others pay money to remove it. For over 2,000 years, humans did the opposite. They ate it daily. They trusted it with their hearts. They relied on it to keep their blood moving freely, their vessels flexible, and their bodies alive well into old age. Then, almost overnight in historical time, it was reclassified. Not as food, not as medicine, but as a weed. This is the story of a leaf that protected human hearts long before cholesterol pills existed, and why modern systems taught us to destroy it. Welcome to Forgotten Earth Vault. The leaf we forgot. The leaf has a jagged edge, shaped like a lion's tooth. That name survived in language even when its purpose did not. Long before laboratories measured cholesterol, long before doctors prescribed statins, long before heart disease became the leading cause of death, this leaf was eaten every spring by entire populations, not as a supplement, not as a detox trend, but as survival nutrition. The Greeks gathered it deliberately. Roman physicians prescribed it. Medieval Europeans depended on it after winter famine, and indigenous cultures across Asia and the Middle East cultivated it without fences. This leaf is dandelion, not the flower. The leaf, the part we were taught to hate. A heart disease that didn't exist. Heart attacks are not ancient. Archaeological records show that atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of arteries, was rare until the last few centuries. Ancient populations suffered infections, injuries, and famine. But widespread cardiovascular collapse? That came later. What they did have was food that supported blood flow, reduced inflammation, and protected vessels naturally. Dandelion leaf was one of those foods. It was eaten fresh, bitter, and green, especially after winter, when bodies needed circulation restored. Ancient physicians noticed something critical. People who consumed bitter greens regularly had stronger pulses, fewer swelling disorders, better circulation to extremities, less chest tightness with age. They didn't call it cardiovascular health. They called it balance. Why bitter meant safe. Bitterness used to signal medicine. Before sugar rewired human taste preferences, bitterness was associated with liver activation, bile flow, and blood cleansing. Dandelion leaf is intensely bitter. That bitterness triggers increased bile production, improved fat metabolism, cholesterol breakdown instead of accumulation. Bile is how the body removes excess cholesterol. No bile flow equals cholesterol stays trapped in blood. Ancient diets were rich in bitter leaves specifically to keep this system functioning. Remove the bitter greens, and cholesterol problems appear. History didn't forget this. Industry did. Modern science caught up quietly. In the last century, laboratories began testing what folk medicine already knew. Dandelion leaf was found to contain potassium levels higher than bananas, polyphenols that reduce vascular inflammation, compounds that inhibit LDL oxidation, natural diuretic effects that reduce blood pressure without depleting minerals. Unlike pharmaceutical diuretics, dandelion leaf does not strip potassium from the body. It adds it. That matters because potassium regulates heart rhythm. Low potassium increases arrhythmia risk. High sodium, low potassium diets dominate modern food systems. Dandelion leaf corrects that imbalance naturally, but no one advertises that. The heart connection. No one markets. Heart attacks don't begin in the heart. They begin in inflammation. Inflamed blood vessels trap cholesterol. Oxidized LDL sticks to arterial walls. Plaque forms. Flow slows. Pressure rises. Dandelion leaf interrupts this cascade at multiple points. It reduces systemic inflammation, improves endothelial function, enhances nitric oxide availability, promotes cholesterol excretion through bile. This is not a miracle. It is biology functioning as designed. For centuries, this was normal food. So why did we stop eating it? The answer has nothing to do with health, and everything to do with control. Dandelion does not grow in rows. It does not require fertilizer. It does not respect property lines. It returns year after year without permission. It cannot be patented. It cannot be hybridized into dependence. It cannot be killed easily without chemicals. As agriculture industrialized, uniform crops replaced resilient ones. Plants that grew freely became enemies. The word weed does not mean useless. It means uncontrollable. The war on dandelion. By the mid-20th century, lawns replaced food gardens. Uniform green grass became a status symbol. Anything that disrupted that image was labeled a problem. Dandelion became public enemy number one. Entire chemical industries were built around erasing it. Herbicides were designed specifically to kill broadleaf plants like dandelion, not because it harmed ecosystems, but because it refused to submit. Homeowners were taught to poison what their grandparents ate. A heart health crisis replaced it. As bitter greens disappeared from diets, something replaced them. Refined carbohydrates, seed oils, sugar, cholesterol problems exploded. Heart disease became the leading global killer. Instead of restoring the foods that prevented it, systems responded differently. They created drugs. Statins lower cholesterol by blocking its production, not improving its removal. They do nothing for inflammation at the root. They manage numbers, not systems, and they require lifelong dependence. Dandelion leaf requires sunlight. Why you were never told this? No pharmaceutical company can profit from a plant that grows everywhere. No agribusiness benefits from a leaf that refuses to be owned. So the narrative shifted. Dandelion became a nuisance, a lawn problem, a weed unfit for consumption. Its nutritional profile vanished from education. Its history vanished from memory. But the plant did not vanish. It waited. The people who never forgot. In parts of Italy, dandelion leaves are still eaten every spring. In Greece, they are boiled and dressed with olive oil and lemon. In traditional Chinese diets, they are used to support liver and blood flow. In rural India, they appear in seasonal greens. These populations historically showed lower rates of cardiovascular disease, not because of one plant, but because systems remained intact. Remove one piece and collapse begins. Bitter foods and long life. Longevity cultures share a common thread. They eat foods modern palates reject. Bitter, astringent, mineral-dense. Dandelion leaf fits perfectly into that pattern. It stimulates digestion, supports detox pathways, protects blood vessels, maintains electrolyte balance. It does not spike blood sugar. It does not overload calories. It does not demand processing. It simply works. The future is not new. As heart disease strains healthcare systems worldwide, solutions are framed as technological. New drugs, new procedures, new interventions. But the real solution has always been older. Food that maintains function before damage occurs. The leaf we spray with poison today once protected the organ we spend billions trying to repair. That is not coincidence. That is forgetting. Remembering is an act of resistance. Learning to recognize dandelion leaf is simple. Jagged edges, smooth, hairless surface. A bitter taste that lingers. Harvest young leaves in clean environments. Eat them raw in small amounts. Cook them lightly to reduce bitterness. Combine with fats to absorb nutrients. This is not advice. It is history repeating itself. The leaf is still here. Dandelion survived ice ages, empires, industrialization, chemical warfare. It grows whether we approve or not. The question is not whether it works. The question is whether we remember why it mattered. Closing. Forgotten Earth Vault. The most effective heart protection humans ever used was never locked in a bottle. It grew at their feet. It still does. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe to Forgotten Earth Vault. Every like and share helps preserve knowledge that doesn't want to disappear, but was taught to be ignored. The next vault opens soon,